conversations that count, the Awanachi conversations. I'm excited that you could join us yet again for this week's podcast, where we will be talking to the winning Mastercook Zambia Season 2 winner. That's none other than Chef Womba. I'm your host, Mpunga Chipepo-Simukwai, welcoming you to the podcast. Womba, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's a joy to have you here. I was telling you that I needed to see some food as you walked in.
Yes.
Because I think chefs always move with some food, some fruits or something.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for creating time to just come and be part of the conversation.
Sure.
Today.
Pleasure's mine.
Yeah. Now, you have such an amazing story around culinary, your passion for food. Could you just take us through your journey on how you found yourself having a passion for culinary?
Okay, so the interest started when I was quite a young child, a young girl, playing with sand outside, making cakes out of flowers and dirt and mud. And I could not wait till I turned the age where I was allowed to be in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So once I hit 8 years old, I found myself now playing with pots and pans, and I baked my first ever cake. And from then on, it's been history ever since. I've just enjoyed it, baking especially because that was my first passion. And the food part came on later on in my life, following my success after Mastercook Zambia. So that's just basically how that started, and yeah, it's been good ever since.
Okay, who would you say inspired you? With the cooking. We live in a time where most girls are not interested in being in the kitchen. You're literally fighting with them through to their teenage years. They don't want to be. Who inspired you? Was it a situation where maybe your mom cooked a lot and you'd observe her cook, and then could you just take us through that as well?
Yeah, sure. I was one of those lucky kids growing up whose mom's food was always the best. Carrying packed lunch to school, and all your friends just wondering, what's that? What's this? Can I try some? So I've always enjoyed my mom's cooking, and she's also been one of the people to teach me quite a lot of what I know. She's also taught quite a lot of people as well, through especially our maids, grooming them into learning how to use ingredients. And I also found myself learning from our maid, who was a very good cook. I spent a lot of my time with her. She raised me from the time I was a baby to about 15 years old.
Oh, wow.
So, she was fantastic. I also learned a lot from her. I've also just had a lot of inspiration as well, even in my professional career, with a lot of other peers of mine, other chefs who I've come to know and love, and just get a lot of experience and inspiration from them as well.
Now, you are studying physiotherapy as well, and then there's a culinary. Those are complete degrees in their own way.
Yes.
Could you share with us how that is going, and how are you balancing studying in two separate fields?
So I actually finished my physiotherapy a few years back. So
perfect.
While I was doing that, thank you, I was also, cooking as like a side hustle at the same time. So most of my weekends were spent doing the whole culinary thing, and then obviously during the week it's school all the way. And I'm in School of Health Sciences, so that's a lot required from you as well. So I'm juggling assignments, I'm juggling cake orders, I'm juggling, events. So it was quite the challenge, to say the least. But somehow, somewhere, I managed to balance myself out. Yeah.
Now, you won the Mastercook Zambia Season 2. And I can imagine how life-changing that was.
Yes.
Could you take us through the moment you were announced as winner, but most of the preparation that went into you preparing for that competition? What was that like?
So at that point, I was still deep into my physiotherapy studies. A friend of mine actually told me that there was a competition going on for cooking. And she said, hey, you might be interested in this. I know you love to cook. Just try it out. See what happens. And I said, okay, let me go and try it out. So I auditioned for that. And the judges were very impressed by the dish that I made, considering my age.
Do you remember what you made?
Oh, yeah, I do. I made a stuffed quail with a rocket and balsamic salad. It was a simple dish, but they realized, the skill that it takes to cook this type of dish, the way you've cooked it, is is not very common here. So they were quite impressed with that, and that's what got me onto the show. So even just the preparations leading up to that were mostly, I would say, my intuition in just exposing myself to different cuisines and exposing myself to different recipes, also just enjoying the art of cooking. So I pushed all of that into the competition itself. So I think that's what helped catapult me towards the end. So even coming to the end of that, the whole announcement of it, my heart was definitely in my mouth at that day. And it was
under
down
your feet, as they say.
Exactly. It was down to the 2 chefs, and hearing my name being called was definitely one of the highlights of my life. I've never won anything of that caliber, so experiencing that has definitely opened so many doors for me, and I could not be grateful.
Yeah. Now, obviously, I was going to be asking that as the next question. Could you just share with us what sort of impact did your winning the Mastercook Zambia Season 2 have on your career, particularly in the culinary aspect?
So it opened up a whole bunch of doors, namely being brand sponsorship deals, doing a lot of product awareness programs, working with different spices. For example, I did something recently, end of last year into this year, with Robertson Spices, Nora Spices, as well as Raja. So we did a whole campaign for that. I've also worked with Nederberg Wines. I've done work as well with Whirlpool. Just to name a few. So I've been able to, get myself onto the influencership type of deals. That has also been quite good for me as well. And also just being exposed to other chefs in the industry who have also helped catapult my career. It's always good having a good circle of people who are like-minded and also pushing you towards your goals. So
amazing. You went ahead of me and told me the brands that you've worked with, but I will spare you the trouble. But could you share with us, obviously, of the many, those are international brands that you're mentioning, your Whirlpool, your Raja. What has it been like working with those brands, and what are some of the key lessons you have learned? And then also, could you just share with us, of the many international brands that you have worked with, which one would you say, like, this one has been the best because obviously the deal has been good and you've had, amazing experiences with the brand?
Okay. So I would say I'll answer the first one if I can. I've worked with, like I mentioned, there was Nederberg. I've also done one with Raja. I've worked with Blue Band as well. I've also worked with, locally, I've also worked with Biendon Farms, which is a quail distributor, quail farm. And I've also done some work with, trying to remember from the top of my head, but they're all leaving me now. But those are the ones that I can remember at this moment. I would say the ones that have made like a huge impact would be, maybe 2 of them.
Yeah, that's okay.
I would say Nederberg. Nederberg helped me also learn a lot about cuisine, more than I actually thought I knew, because I had to learn now how to pair wines with foods and what wines go well with this type of wine, and even incorporate that into my own work and my own menus. You know, a lot of people are very wine oriented, so you kind of have to also include that into your menu. So that's also helped elevate what I already offer. Yes, and now it's also come back to me. I've also worked with Time and Tide, which is a safari lodge in the Lower Zambezi. They also have another branch which is in Mauritius. So it's been a very good experience working with them, hired as a private chef. And the safari world is very different from, city life and private chef services, so to speak, because you get to actually cook for different types of people with different types of requirements and dietary specifics. And it helped also.
Imagine that,
So just cooking for a huge group of people with maybe say 10 different types of requirements, dietary requirements, has also helped really sculpt the way I look at food and how I look at my menu planning, and it's also made a really big impact into how I do my work.
All right. Now, I know that you make some of the most amazing tacos through your WomzNomz Catering,
Yes.
which obviously has become a well-known name. How did you come up with the idea of the, WomzNomz? Obviously, that's Womba.
Yeah.
Taco trailer. And what has been the journey been like so far?
Yeah, so the idea of tacos really, it was more of like a spur of the moment. So I would host friends over, just invite some friends for food, some chefs as well, and we'd just like enjoy ourselves, away from the whole hustle and bustle of work. And one of these particular times, one of our chef friends, Chef Tony, may his soul rest in peace, he was quite a very big inspiration for me, and he was also working towards his own restaurant and takeout joint. So he encouraged me to do the tacos. He tried them once and said, friend, you have a really good product here. Try this out, try and get other people to see what it tastes like for them and just get some reviews back. I think you have something good going on here.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'll think about it. And unfortunately, literally a couple of weeks after that interaction, COVID took him. So yeah, it was quite sad, but his encouragement ended up pushing me into trying to do the tacos. So we had our event a few weeks after that, and that was me debuting the tacos, and a lot of people tried them, and we sold out the first time and got positive reviews. So ever since then, I've just been doing them, week after week, after month, and yeah, it's just become this whole thing now.
Oh wow! I can't wait to have a bite of those tacos.
I can't wait for you.
Yeah. Okay. Now you've obviously catered at very high profile events such as the Zambezi Food Festival. Is there a particular event or experience that stands out for you?
Definitely. I'll definitely mention Kea's Food Market. That was like my first ever food market. So that's where I actually gained the confidence to get my food out there. So I would definitely say Kea's Food Market. And another
Where was that
one,
and when?
That used to be hosted along Airport Road, a
perfect.
place called Club Maryland.
Okay.
So we would have monthly markets there with different themes throughout the year, and yeah, so we got to really experiment as chefs as well with our menus. That was really, really fun. Another event I would say has also been Lusaka Food Market. So that's also been one market that has helped catapult the taco business. So I've gotten a lot of my clientele from there as well, and eventually just psyching up myself to say, let me actually push for a taco trailer now. So that's where we are at with our vending as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you're definitely growing. You have touched about the unfortunate situation where you lost somebody very dear during the COVID-19.
Yes.
But COVID-19, I think if there's one thing that it taught all of us is the importance of adapting, is the importance of being agile, is the importance of embracing change, because COVID was it. COVID was the change.
Oh, yes.
Now, during COVID, you launched the Pickle Me product, which really, I think, from my perspective, showcased your ability to adapt during tough times. What inspired you to diversify, and then how has this product evolved over the years?
So I'm a very big lover of spicy food. So me coming up with the chili product was a way of me to pass time during COVID, because a lot of the work was on standstill, no events, there was no outside anymore. So I had to pick my brain and say, what can I do in the meantime? Either just to keep myself busy, keep myself, learned about something, and that's how I came up with the chili pickle.
Yeah.
So that was more of like an experiment. Little did I know it would become a product that many people would actually love. So yeah, from then on, I started doing the whole chili pickle and got a really good feedback from it. Managed to get it in a couple of stores as well. I had it stocked in, I've already forgotten the name of the shop. Tantika store, yes. It used to be here in East Park, but it closed some time ago. So Tantika store, we had it there. We also had it at El Mercato in Leopards Hill, and also at the The garden shop, yes, garden shop in Rhodes Park.
Right.
Yes, but so far I've had to put a hold on it because the whole load shedding has made things very difficult this year.
Yeah.
So even the production slowed down significantly to the point where we've had to redivert our focus onto more of the catering and vending. So right now it's still on pause, but we're still going to bring it back up.
You will get back to it.
Definitely.
Now, I would like to imagine that for any entrepreneur, there are always challenges. For a startup, lots of challenges.
Oh yes.
What would you say have been some of your greatest challenges, particularly as a self-taught chef and entrepreneur? And how would you say you have navigated those challenges?
Yes, I'm sure a lot of entrepreneurs will also speak with me when we say the first 2 years of being an entrepreneur are the hardest. Trying to get anything you're trying to sell into the market is probably one of the biggest challenges. Getting people to buy into a product is always a struggle because you have to really use most of your resources those first 1 to 2 years just to try and get something out. So I guess that's also been one of the challenges. Just having that capital to push something has been very difficult. And also just making sure that even the employees that you have are also getting their payments on time and, they're still with you. But luckily for me, I can also say that they've stuck with me. They've seen the vision, they've seen the dream as well. There's been highs and lows, very, very low lows.
Low, rock bottom, low.
Literally. But I've had a very, very good supportive team. And I can also say thank you to my family who have also helped support me throughout the whole journey. And a lot of the challenges as well have also stemmed from COVID, like I mentioned before. That also put quite a downer onto the whole process of things. But since then, just trying to pick ourselves back up, I think we're finally getting ourselves on stride, so to speak. Yeah.
Right. Now, your culinary journey, Womba, seems to be a lot about change and about evolution, about your adaptability, your agility.
Yeah.
What keeps you motivated, to continue innovating, to continue diversifying, to continue pushing boundaries as a self-taught chef? And that's really big, by the way.
Yeah.
To be self-taught and be able to receive the accolades you have received is no mean achievement. So we celebrate you. But could you just share with us that aspect?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I always have to remind myself where I'm coming from. Just, looking back at my journey has also been quite the encouragement for myself. And to remind myself how far I also want to go. I've prayed to be in the moment that I am in right now. So that's what also motivates me, knowing that there has been an obvious progress from where I started. So always looking back from where I'm coming from and where I am and where I want to go keeps me going as well. And also the support from my family, my friends, everybody that's just been around me has also encouraged me significantly. And they have also been my driving force in everything that I've been doing so far.
Right. Now, Womba, the importance of mentorship can never be overemphasized. I always believe that as we journey through life, we must always think of who am I passing the baton to. What are your thoughts around mentorship, particularly in a culinary aspect that you are involved in? Do you have plans to mentor young girls to take interest in cooking? And if at all you have those plans, how is that going? And how does somebody who's probably watching this podcast reach out and if they would like to be mentored by you?
Yes, it's definitely important. Being a chef is no easy feat. You literally have to have the backup as well and always have that person that just pushes you to be more and to do more. When you think you've done everything, you kind of have to remember that I need to do just a bit more in order for you to be on top of your game. It's really not an easy task. It's one of the professions that a lot of people would see as, oh, you're studying to be a cook, or you're just doing this, to cook. I was like, no, it's not just to cook. This is literally, it's a lifestyle. It's
a science.
It's a science. It's art. It's a sacrifice as well. A lot of time is spent in the kitchen. Probably almost the same hours as doctors would spend in the hospital. So it's a lot that goes into it. And I want to be able to mentor young chefs who are looking to be in this field, and also just teach them that you can do anything. The culinary industry in Zambia is growing. It's, it's thriving now. It's made a lot of improvements over the recent years. And there's a lot of room for people to enter the business. There's literally room for everybody. There's a lot of open gaps that need to be filled, and mentorship is definitely a great way to help people push them into the same.
Right. Now, looking forward to the next couple of years of your culinary journey, I don't know what your plan is with the physiotherapy. Are we packing physiotherapy?
For
Are
now,
we getting...
Yeah, we'll put it on the side burner for now.
Right.
Yeah,
that's
so
the beauty of having, you can decide which one to pick up.
Yeah.
What are your hopes and aspirations, your goals? Where would you want to see the Zambian, fusion cuisine, our culinary? Where would you like us to go, as a country? I like the fact that as a country we love our food.
Yes.
And I like that slowly we're getting back to appreciating our own homegrown foods.
Yes.
You see people having your millet, you see people wanting your lumanda, your kapenta.
Oh yeah.
It's no longer so much of the T-bone and stuff. I think we are becoming more healthy conscious. But as somebody in the culinary space, where would you like to see Zambia in the next couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, I hope to see Zambia in a space where food is just no longer seen as a means of sustenance. It's now seen as a tourist attraction. Yeah, people are traveling to Zambia to eat Zambian food, not just because, we're here, but we'll try some Zambian food. No, I want it to be literally one of the drawing factors for tourism in the country. And I mean, we already see restaurants that are doing tasting menus, like Botanica, that have a 10-course tasting menu. We see Seven Senses at Quorum, and they fuse a lot of Zambian and international cuisines into their menus. And, a lot of people are starting to see how diverse Zambian ingredients are. It's not just kapenta, you can now make a soup out of it, or you can make a foam from, let me say, some Versace. You can do great things with our food now. So I'm hoping to see, international recognition. It will be lovely to one day see a documentary on Netflix about Zambian food.
Absolutely.
So that's where I see this going.
Yeah. Sounds interesting. I mean, we look forward to Zambia getting to those levels where we can really, like you say, let people come to Zambia. They would definitely see the Victoria Falls, but seeing the food and experiencing and eating our food would be a key aspect. Now, Womba, before I let you go, and it's amazing how time has flown by so fast, could you share with us just some of your 3 values that you think have been instrumental in making you the person that you are?
Okay. One value I would say is perseverance. Another one I would say is passion. And the third one I would also say is love. Yes, I like to incorporate the love that I have in me into my food. I do love to cook with love, and I hope people that try my food, that eat it, can also feel the love that's in it. And I'm very passionate about what I do, and I think it speaks volumes. And it's something that I long to persevere into the future and change the atmosphere of food in Zambia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, as a chef, you cook a lot.
Oh yeah.
Which one would you say is your favorite Zambian dish, and then also your favorite, international dish?
Easy. I love shima with bimbombo and beans. That's like my go-to.
That sounds any day.
Slapping some lumanda there.
Then it's good.
I'm one of those impwa people. Don't kill me. I love impwa.
Yeah. I mean, I saw somebody post on their socials and saying, everyone who eats impwa should be arrested, because how can you eat something that's so bad? But impwa
right?
It's quite
amazing.
nice.
I mean, I'm guilty. Arrest me, please.
Okay, and then your international
my international food that I would say I love a lot. That's crazy because I really don't have a favorite international food.
Oh, okay.
I really don't. I would say maybe in terms of like cuisines, Indian food, and I also love Asian Chinese food.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
right.
I love eating those. I think it's
Spicy.
just exactly.
You
Spicy
you
food.
like spice.
Lots of flavor.
Yeah, okay, Womba. So it's been such a joy, Womba, to have you on our conversation.
Thank you.
Like we always say, Awanachi Conversation is here to amplify the voices of girls and women in different spaces. We're excited that we could have you come through to talk about just your culinary journey.
Maybe
we'll get you to come and talk about your physiotherapy journey when you unpack it. When it's okay, let's get into this space.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for honoring us with your presence.
Thank you.
We just speak God's blessings even as you continue in your culinary journey.
Thank you so
I know
much.
that you are going places, you're going international, and we'll keep track.
Yes,
we will call you again to say, hey, we saw those awards. Come, let's share. Let's see how that is going. But thank you so much yet again for coming.
Pleasure is mine. It's been amazing. Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. So we have been talking to Chef Womba, just taking us through her culinary journey. Do make a date with us next week at the same time. Or did I say next week? Cut that, Eric. Do make a date with us next time. But before I let you go, Awanachi issue 8 is out, available in ShopRite, Bookworld, and Grey Matter for only 100 kwacha. We are celebrating women in agriculture, so please do rush over to the stores and get yourself a copy. Goodbye and God bless.